There are two verses in the Bible, one in John chapter 18, verse 11, when Jesus said to Peter, "Put your sword into the sheath. Shall I not drink the cup which my Father has given me?" That's the first verse. And the second one is in Luke chapter 22, verse 42. It says, "Father, if it is your will, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." At a glance, we can see, or someone may see, some contradiction. But if we know that the Old Testament is an essential part of the whole Holy Bible, we can understand that what Jesus said in these two verses was perfect, like all the Word of God. If you look at Leviticus chapter 6, we will see the answer here. In Leviticus chapter 6, first verse 8. Leviticus chapter 6, verse 8. It says, "Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. The burnt offering shall be on the hearth upon the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar shall be kept burning on it." And in verse 24, he says, "And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, the sin offering shall be killed before the Lord. It is most holy." As we can see here, both the burnt offering and the sin offering are in a holy place. And the difference between them is that the burnt offering represents Jesus as the Redeemer, who actually volunteered to fulfill the will of God and the desire of God. So he wanted to give God his right because people sinned against God, and he wanted to give glory to God. That's why in Psalm 40, he said, showing that he is volunteer to be a sacrifice or offering and a redeemer of the human race. In 40, he said in verse 6, "Sacrifice and offering you did not desire. My ears you have opened. Burnt offering and sin offering you did not require. Then I said, Behold, I come in the scroll of the book. It is written of me, I delight to do your will, O my God, and your law is within my heart." That explains fully the meaning of the two verses Jesus uttered when he was going to the cross. He became like the mediator between God and man. So that's why in the first verse he volunteered and he said, I want to do the will of God. But in the second one, he showed some hesitation in the beginning because he saw that his pure, non-sinning body will carry in him the sins of the human being. And he knew that there will be 3 hours on the cross, the hours of darkness, where God, the Father, will turn back. And Jesus found it very hard to imagine that will happen to him because of the strong intimacy between him and God. But then he said after that, in the same verse we read in John, that Jesus will actually willing to do the will of God, no matter what. Therefore, these two verses were actually perfect when we look deep in the Bible. Thank you.